Hey there, and welcome to the Forest Park podcast that we call On Mission. Today, we're excited to have Bob Johnson and Lori Drelles to talk about Honduras. Thank you both for being here today. We're really excited. Lori Carlson talked a little bit this last Sunday about we're sending a group of Forest Parkers to Honduras in 2024, which is come up fast. So I know we're all excited for that. So first off, what inspired you both to participate in the mission trip to Chimizal, Honduras, especially focusing on, I think you're going to be doing water pipes, so we'll get into that a little later. Can we just start with how you two got inspired?
Back in 21, I participated with a group, and we went to Chimizal. And what I liked most about it was working with the men, digging latrines, and also working with the children in the school in the afternoons. So I want to go back and see what's been happening and if there's been any progress in other areas, and work with our new project that we're going to do.
Awesome. Lori?
I did hair cutting last time, so I was observing the latrines and everything, which was fascinating to see what a difference that's going to make for the community.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try to inspire the women to learn a skill that they could possibly even think about taking to another village where they could cut hair and earn a little income to raise their level of their lifestyle.
That is amazing.
Which
So cool.
Nice, yeah.
Can you share both about the current water situation right now? What's going on in Chimizal right now, and the hope that we have for the pipes to impact the region?
Well, first of all, the latrines have not all been completed yet, and now we're moving on to maybe more important project, and that's the pipes going from the 3 springs that they have there to the different houses, so that a lot of them, I guess, are broken or leaking in some way, shape, or form. So we'll be digging trenches and trying to lay new pipe so that each of the households will be able to have fresh water.
Fresh water. That sounds like a massive undertaking. What challenges are you going to anticipate facing?
Well, if it's anything like digging the latrines, their ground there is a lot of rock and clay. So it could be back-breaking work, but we encourage anyone to help us with that project to volunteer.
All right, so lots of strong backs you're hoping for to get some soil moving. So we're a church, and we are such a strong missional church who loves making a name for the kingdom of God in our community and in the world abroad. In what ways do y'all think, or do y'all believe that the mission aligns with the values and teachings of Jesus? How has your faith been influenced by heading to Chimizal?
I personally think, anytime you go to a third world country, you're overwhelmed with the luxuries and the privileges that we have here compared to what they have, and how their faith is always so evident because they are living day to day on whether they're going to have food and water. They're sick most of the time because of the bacteria that's in the groundwater. And so to think that if we could help them to feel better, to actually feel healthy each day, so that they could be more inspired to maybe try to, have a goal that's a little higher than just getting through a day, which would be wonderful.
Okay.
That's what most of them are doing, right? They're just trying to make it through that day.
Yeah. And again, we know as Christians that we are very blessed, and you want to bless somebody else. And you would, then the way we can bless them is by, with our finances and with our work and with our knowledge that we can bring to them to try to plant a seed to inspire them, and how we know Jesus wants us to plant that seed and hope that they will grow.
Yes, and maybe they'll come to be saved. Mm-hmm. We don't know. Mm-hmm. Very cool. How do you plan to engage with the local community in Chimizal to ensure that the project is going to meet the specific needs and the desires of the town there? Have any ideas?
Well, a lot of that is spearheaded by the Aldea Coffee crew that's already down there. They help us with the day-to-day interaction. They provide translators for us, students that are a real big help to us.
That's a huge help, because without the translators, the communication would be very limited.
Sure.
And the translators, they do really well. And so they really, and then they can talk to their families and the other people in the towns and convey more effectively to them, what is really going on, where we would be very limited without speaking the language.
Sure.
It makes a huge difference.
So neither of you are Spanish speakers?
No.
I'm starting
trade.
my practice, Duolingo.
You got the Duolingo app going?
I'm
Okay.
at 90 days. So.
Hey,
Wow, way to go.
impressive.
Oh, I'm como está. Como se llama?
But this is inspiring, because
Yeah,
both of
yeah.
you are not native Spanish speakers, and yet you can
No.
still go, you can serve, you can have an impact. There are translators that are provided. So
And
the language shouldn't be a barrier for anyone who wants to go and serve.
Correct.
And when I went to Mexico before and I couldn't speak the language, I really felt a large void of really felt like I wasn't able to impact them to the extent that I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of translators that they hooked us up with in Chimizal, and the Aldea people, the coffee growers that are working alongside of Patrick Hughes, that had been in the past here, their understanding of English really helped us to feel like you could get a lot further.
Awesome.
It was nice.
Well, that's very encouraging to know that. Could either of you share a previous experience on a mission trip that has shaped your approach to serving communities in need, since you're mission-hearted people?
You want to go first?
Well, one thing that was, when I was working with the women, it was very interesting because they're really very limited to, they just basically sort of want to stay there, get married, have babies, and die there. And they really don't have any thought process of going further than that. And the one woman that I dealt with in the group of women that I was teaching to cut hair, she was from a larger village, and she was inspired. She was like wanting to take this, and she was comprehending what I was talking about, go to a village where they have more finances and that you can walk to, and that you could cut hair there, because in Chimizal, people couldn't afford to even pay them
Right.
to do the service.
Right.
And so I was trying to get them to think beyond, Chimizal. And this girl, I could tell, really, she was. I'll be interested to go back and see if she has done anything with it. And then also just if she has inspired any other women that I know in hair cutting, some people just naturally have a gift. And some people, have to be taught every step of the way. So one of these girls might just find out she's got a phenomenal gift, and it could take her further.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, that's exciting. Cool.
That's what I'm hoping for.
A start for a conversation there.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I've had two experiences working with two villages, one in Alaska, in White Mountain, and this one in Chimizal. And both of them are very isolated. You had to travel, and like every day now, we will need to travel by truck, in the back of a pickup truck, up the mountain to this village from where we stay.
Which, by the way, is beautiful.
Yeah, it's very
So it's really
nice,
gorgeous.
nice view. You don't have people that are getting out and about as much. And so it was very unique, I think, to be involved in working with people that don't have that worldview or have the luxuries that we have and the knowledge of what's going on around the world, maybe as much. But in the same token, we wanted not lord it over them in that way, but to just stand side by side with them and encourage them.
And serve. Come at it as a posture of a servant. I'm here to serve. So, how do you see this sustainable development? How long have we been doing this? How long have we been going to Chimizal?
I think it's been about 7 years.
7 years. Okay. So we've seen sustainable development take root over these 7 years. How do you see that long-term impact? We've done latrines now, and now we're going to do a water pipe project. How is your team addressing the aspect of sustainable development for the Chimizal community?
Well, I feel this all started with, I think, Patrick and Alex Hughes and Andrew, who's got Aldea Coffee. I think I could be mixed up on my real origins here, but they went to try to do small loans, micro loans, and inspire people to take loans to do a business and different things. And then they've come alongside these farmers, and they've helped improve their farming ability and to get a better yield of the crop and how to sort the beans better and do all this stuff. So again, if they can learn how to farm better, that's going to improve their ability to be financially more stable and where they can help themselves a little more.
We can start thriving instead of just surviving. Okay.
Yeah. And that's the hope, and then, like you say, you want to come alongside of them and love them where they're at, but also, just, again, plant a seed or inspire them to, that you can, if you want to, you can think beyond this, like, and how you can grow and, do things a little better and more effectively so that your people can stay healthier and that you will just get a better crop with the coffee.
Now, remind me, the water pipes are not for irrigation yet. We are trying to get clean water to the homes.
Correct.
So that because there's still, you said that there's still sickness in the homes?
The problem when the whole project started, I know Sherry Hughes had shared with me that they, went around and did lots of surveys and communicating with the people what their greatest needs were. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like there's a lot of sickness that people are always there. A lot of them aren't just feeling well, and they thought it was just the water source, but they figured out the bigger problem was the pollution to the water source from the not having latrines.
Okay.
And I can admit, when I looked at this village that wasn't really large, there's not that many people, and it's rocky and clay, or, I guess you're not having sand filtering it. But I would think that with all the rocks and everything, I thought that would filter and it wouldn't pollute the water source to the extent that
but it obviously has.
But it
right?
has.
Okay.
And so that's as far as I understood it, that's what I think was the big problem that they figured out. And so that's where we had to begin.
Right.
And then all the other things are, if you can get people healthy and if you can teach them how to farm better and more effectively. And
it's staggering as a first world country to think about people who do not have access to clean water. But that's still a reality today, and that's what y'all are going to try to hopefully fix.
Yeah.
How much pipage do you think you're going to be able to lay in this week that you're going to go?
We're still in the planning stages of that to know exactly how much we'll need. But usually what they do is they'll purchase any supplies we need and tools in the country, and then we'll send them up there, and then they'll be ready for us when we arrive.
All right.
And Sherry and Patrick would always say, too, that the people are they're good workers. They really are, but they just need to be inspired and directed.
Sure.
And so they're, like we're coming alongside of them, but they're the ones really doing the heavy-duty labor of going through that clay and rocks. And, of course, if we have young, healthy people that come along, they can even be more helpful with that, too.
Sure.
Because it is pretty tough.
So we talked a little bit about the language barrier. How do you navigate cultural differences between Hondurans and Americans? What strategies have y'all found effective and in building meaningful connections over the last 7 years?
One, it sounds simple, is smile. Catching their eye and smiling at them and they to you is a good first connection. And me personally, being as tall as I am, it's pretty easy, especially with the children, which I love to work with, to get an interaction going with them.
Okay. Do you find them playful and receptive and eager to communicate with you? Okay.
A very friendly group of people. I was amazed. They were very friendly and open, and the women would be shy and giggle a lot. But then when we get the interpreter in there and that we would talk to them, they would really open up. It was neat to just to care and interact. And one day we made pizzas in a brick oven with a group of the women in their home, and that was a really cool experience.
How fun!
That was neat.
How fun! Well, as you embark on this mission, what lessons, insights from your personal faith journeys do you hope to share with others as you're not only talking with the people of Chimizal, but as you're talking with us, as you're talking with Forest Parkers and the people in the Norton Shores and Greater Muskegon area. Do you have anything going on in your own faith journeys that you'd like to share as to what's been so inspiring?
I just say that I feel that each and every one of us, that there's nothing that makes you more excited than to come alongside of people and serve people.
Yes.
And especially people that have just so much of a greater need than what we have. And, if any of us that have not ever left the country and gone into a more of a third world situation, it is shocking how blessed we are, and again, how these people serve, they depend on God every day for exactly just to survive, and for us to be able to come alongside and love them and show them God's love, and it makes us grow, because, when we look at their faith that's so strong with everything stripped away,
yes,
it does a lot. It changes your heart.
Oh, that's awesome. Huh?
2 years ago, when I was boarding the plane that would take us down to Honduras, there was a gal that was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Above all else, love each other deeply." And I took a picture of that. I got permission, and I saw through that trip, and lately we've been talking a lot in the church here about love and what that means, to love each other. And I think that has really been influential for me to love each other deeply.
Oh, that's what Jesus said, right? They'll know you're my followers. They'll know by how much you love one another. So how can we get involved as Forest Parkers? I know that we give to the we have a line item in our budget, but how else can Forest Parkers come alongside y'all and support and encourage you as you're getting ready to get to go on this trip next year?
We always know prayer, and Lean does a lot of that. And then people that feel that they want to spread their wings and try something different and have this experience, that, we're open to anybody coming along. The more hands, that's more help, which is great. We work with the children. It's wonderful if people that feel inspired that want to work with kids, because it's wonderful to love on the kids.
Sure.
And so you don't have to feel like you have a definite skill. Like you don't have to be a strong, young, healthy man to come along and make an impact. But, we can use people from all different age groups, and that they can come alongside. And of course, giving of your time and your finances to help enable us to do more.
Okay. If we were going to donate, do we know what the road there is?
That's also going to be coming up. We'll have a big fundraiser come next winter.
Okay.
And you'll see probably pipes, conduits all around the church somewhere that will have a display as to what we're trying to raise.
Awesome. Well, thank you both. This is an incredibly inspiring thing that you're doing. It's an amazing thing to be a part of a church that loves people so well. So blessings on you, and hope you get all the money and the people that you need to make it a real impact for Christ.
Thank you.
See you later.